earlier than late. Let's see here. Now if I can just figure out how to get my stuff going. Okay, I might have a residual sound. Hold on. Turn off the sound. Alright. Hello everybody. I've got 4 or 5 people already. Excuse me. I had a little cough there. How's everybody doing so far? Like I said, I'm about 5 minutes early, so I'm actually surprised some of you guys are already showing up. Maybe you guys have been waiting, hoping I'd show up early. I don't know. I don't even know if Jerry showed up. Ooh, ow. Excuse me. I get more people showing up by the minute as I'm trying to adjust everything. Yeah, if you guys don't notice, I still haven't taken down Christmas yet. I got the boxes in. Plan on working on it tomorrow. You know, let me just double check something real quick. See if that's going through. Yep, okay. Yeah, I have a separate account on YouTube so I can videotape myself from my regular account and communicate with everybody with my other account. I don't use my other account for much. So don't be surprised if you see maybe a comment or two from Grey Wolf 21. No, yeah, 1021. That's just my secondary account for this particular purpose. I had a reason for coming on here and what I wanted to talk about, but my brain just kind of went, yes, I make fun of myself all the time. Because the factor, if you can't make fun of yourself, somebody else will, and usually make you unhappy. I actually have some good news for me and Jerry. The good news is our new medical insurance, our updated medical insurance, once it kicks in on February 1st, I will have optical coverage, so I can get actual glasses that will work with me instead of just be magnifiers, and dental, which is good because I want this mug to be repaired. You know, Jerry doesn't care, but you know, I kind of do. It has a reflection on on my appearance or character, even though most people, I don't know why, most people will judge a person's character first and foremost by how they look, not their actions, not their deeds, not their skill level or any of that stuff. It's always about first look, first appearances, which I find to be a pile of bumpkus because I've met plenty of people. At first glance, I would be like, no, don't know, don't want to do anything about it. But I hey Deb, I got to know the person better because I was taught one thing by my father was, don't judge a book by its cover. Unfortunately, there are too many people out there who will judge a book by their characteristics. Hold on, let me see if I can remember how to enlarge the words on my computer. So give me a second. Nope, it's not that. It's not that. There we go. Bingo. Now I can see what's being put on the computer screen. You know, Dave, you're right. Who else is watching? Who else is on here? And where are you guys from? I like to know where people are from because I've gotten to know people from around the world. Hi, Lisa. just by the internet and YouTube. There's a couple crazy ones out there, but they're fun to watch. In fact, actually, before I came online, I happened to notice on my YouTube feed, um, there's Jerry, on my YouTube feed, there's a whole bunch of stuff about one of my favorite comics as I was growing up, ElfQuest, and I was just like, yay, Minnesota. Ooh, Mary, what part of Minnesota? Um, but yeah, I was actually like, wow, Maryland, Maryland. Oh, I don't know anybody from Maryland, Mandy. So you'd be the first person I actually heard of being in Maryland. Never been there myself. Um, there's a lot of states I have not been to by myself, or with others, unless you want to consider the bus ride from New York to Yellowstone National Park back in 2010. We drove through several different states that I've never been through. Um, the Dakotas, parts of Wyoming, and into Montana. Sorry, my brain froze for a second. Texas. Well, Lisa, we've got friends down in Texas. I even have family members down in Texas. I just don't know exactly where. I understand that what you're saying, Jim. I feel the same about doing the best I can for myself too. Yeah. Oh, 2005. Thank you, Jerry. She remembers dates better than I do. That's right. 2010 was when father-in-law passed away. Hey Jim, keep taking good care of our girl. Oh, every moment I can. Much love, Jimmy. Praying for you all times. Please remember my sister in prayer too. Virginia. I was actually near Virginia. Or no, I'm sorry, not Virginia. North Carolina. That's where I did my basic training when I tried to go into the military, and medically I failed. Tennessee. I've briefly been through Tennessee. That was one of the many different bus rides I've had in my life. Yeah, I had thought about trying to get a live session for the two of us. Actually, we did a live session not too long ago, the two of us, on her channel. So, you know, right now Jerry's in our room relaxing. She was out here for a couple of hours with her back brace on. We watched Aquaman together, and I kind of did a lot of work around the house, especially in the bedroom, because sometimes when Jerry's in the bedroom, it's hard to clean in the bedroom around her. So while she was sitting out here, I did some cleaning up in the bedroom. Cannon Falls between the Twin Cities and Rochester. Is that New York? No, Rochester is not New York. Well, there's a Mary. Oh, that's Maryland. That's right, Mary. I'm sorry, I forgot where you said you were from. I easily forget, but we spent some time together watching Aquaman, and she watched a bunch of endings for a bunch of shows that she's been trying to watch, or had been watching in the bedroom. But today is cleaning day. Tomorrow, I hope we work together. This is. There's one. Sorry, Jerry. There is one, but she's in Minnesota. Yeah. Okay, Minnesota, not Maryland. Sorry, guys. I don't always remember things quickly. Oh, Marianne. Okay. Hey, Marianne. I don't think I've seen you on my channel, but I'm not sure because, like I said, my memory from moment to moment goes bonkers. I'm from KY. I'm guessing that's okay. Kentucky, close to Tennessee line, but I'm definitely not a stupid hillbilly, as some people like to label everyone who lives here as. You know what, Debbie? I hear about that from like Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, a lot of the Midwestern states or middle of the country states have been labeled wrongly in a lot of cases. Yes, we do have our run. You know, we do have a handful of hillbilly slash redneck type idiots, um, but not everybody from these locations are your atypical hillbilly. Oh, excuse me, I gotta move closer to my computer. My the living room, which used to be a garage by when the first owners built up the house, this spot where my computer is got a slight incline, so sometimes my wheelchair wants to roll downhill, so I have to adjust. Um, mm, Debbie, only the truly ignorant label people like. Yeah, you're right, Mary. Only the ignorant will label another person just because. Um, Mary Jill. Yes, I made the mistake of thinking Maryland. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, just by a quick glance, there is a lot of Marys. So forgive me for um, yeah. Who was it that said they were from Maryland? Uh, or maybe I thought Maryland and it's actually Minnesota. So I'm sorry. Southern Southern Minnesota. It's about an hour from the Iowa border. Okay. Right. Okay. Rochester, Minnesota is home of the Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic. Never heard of that. Never heard of the Mayo Clinic. Um, yeah, there are rednecks in most all states, but they're, I'm sure, but not, yeah. Certain states don't have, well, it depends on what you want to consider a redneck. I mean, the definitions for certain labels have changed over the last 30 years that I've known the difference between labels and actual characteristics. Um, okay, Mandy's from Maryland. Why did I consider Mandy a Mary? I don't know. North Carolina. What part of North Carolina? Um, Goldie. Hey, Goldie. Diane's here. McCoy. Besides Star Trek, why does that name sound familiar to me? I don't know. Hurricane, Utah. Oh, I know where Zion is. I guess Hurricane's a small town that I've never heard of. Wendy Deverson. Hugs from British Columbia, Canada. Um, okay. But the ideas I want to talk about are flooding my brain and I'm having trouble keeping them in order. Um, what was it I actually wanted to talk about? I forgot. Um, oh, I wanted to clear up a few things. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen a lot of my videos where I'm trying to explain the issue from Tuesday morning's video. There's been a lot of back and forth about it. Um, Monday morning, I didn't even know how bad Jerry felt, and when I saw her video, I talked to her about it because I was like, if I knew that you were doing that bad, I would not have gone to work. I would have stayed home to take care of you. But we resolved the issue, and as far as I'm concerned, any other comments are kind of mute, not mute, moot. You know, Philly, we have a Philadelphian. Um, Jerry was actually doing pretty good this morning by the looks of things, and then I think she sat in her brace too long out here in the living room. So she's dealing with that. As she said, she's pushing through. I'm happy that she, at certain days, depending on what it is, she can push through. I try not to push her to do anything extra than she can handle. Um, some of the plans that we had for this morning kind of went sideways because I decided to do laundry and work in my office. And what I did not realize was Jerry needed me to be available, not all the time, but for the duration. I guess she can probably tell you better, but we were going to work a little bit more in her craft room. Um, we'll see what happens tomorrow because tomorrow is either going to be taking down Christmas holidays or working her in the craft room. Um, I'm gonna let her decide what she feels like doing because I don't mind the Christmas decorations still being up almost February, but I'm pretty sure Jerry wants to try to decorate for Valentine's Day. She loves decorating. Hi, Kathy. Kathy Katz in Cali. Hmm. I don't know if I have a good sense of humor, but I try to stay as positive as possible. My humor is sometimes off the wall and just spur of the moment craziness. Um, Jerry could tell you better than I am. I could because she's the one who's constantly saying, "Quit making me laugh. I'm gonna split my lip." Sorry. Dallas Teja. David H. Well, David, I don't. David in Dallas. Uh, David, I'm kind of curious what the H stands for because if I have family down in Texas, I don't know where all they live. So I don't know if you're a Henson or not. Um, I don't remember the first name of the Henson that lived in Texas. I don't know if that was Bobby or I think Bobby's in Colorado. If he's still kicking. Do you take down the Christmas tree? Yes, we do take down the Christmas tree. It's just we haven't gotten around to it because of my work schedule. And usually, when I get home from work, I'm too tired to worry about the Christmas tree. My first priority when I get home is to check on Jerry, and then okay, Hall. All right. Um, yeah, during the weekday, my priority is come home, looking on Jerry to see how she's doing, and then if I was smart enough to pull out something for dinner before I went to work, I make dinner. If not, we sit there and go, okay, what can we do that's quick and easy besides fast food? Because I'm getting sick and tired of fast food. um, but yeah, I do try to do my utmost best to take care of my family. Sometimes I'm just wiped out and don't feel like doing anything. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, I got to do what I got to do. Let's see here. Holly, always wishing the two of you the best. Thank you, Holly. We appreciate that. Jerry said be right back, so she might have had to do something, deal with something. Um, I appreciate you trying to explain, but there's really no need, and there are time delays, etc., which mean we may be watching something that got recorded a couple days before. Yes, a lot of times that's what happens. I look forward to seeing Jerry go live soon. We we were live about a week or so ago on her channel, so you can go back and look at that recording. uh, that's interesting, Jill. Our Mary Jill, however you want to be called. How has it? Your tree has been up since 2029, since it's only 2022. Did you mean 2009? Um, I would love to see that room. It looks lovely. Which room, Becky? Because we've been working on her craft room and my, oh, since 2019. That's all right. Um, yeah, we've been working on her craft room. I've been trying to work on my office. It's my office is kind of a slow go because it's like, okay, like today. I actually started last weekend. I got a lot of, once Jerry's craft room was set up the way she wanted, where the furniture was, we started taking all her craft supplies back into that room to get organized. One of the things that was hampering me from doing my room was the buffet in my room, which is basically storing a lot of glassware and whatnot, had glassware that she wanted in her office for crafting with. So, both rooms have been being worked on little by little. And in fact, today I did some more of my room, and I've got the video still. Snowy from Rhode Island. You know what, Wendy? If I could transport some of that snow away from Rhode Island, I'd be a happy camper. I love snow. I love watching it come down. I love playing in it. The only thing I don't love about it is trying to get it off my driveway so I can go to work. Um, but my father-in-law, Jerry's father, used to say that snow is the great equalizer because when it snows, you couldn't tell who was rich and who was poor. Everybody's house looked the same, covered in snow. The only way you'd probably know the difference is if you knew the rich part of town compared to the poor part of town. Um, I'm leaving my tree up for the winter. Took the decorations off and kept the lights on. It cheers me up. You know what, June? That sounds like a great idea. In fact, I saw some pictures from a friend of ours that lives down in Texas. Um, she left up her Christmas tree, but decorated it with Valentine's Day hearts and stuff. 20 inches here? I'll take about 10 of those inches. I lived in Germany for 3 years where we would get feet. I was only pre-teens, 9, 8, 9, 10, no, 80 to 83, so it was 9, yeah, 9, 9, 10, 11, almost 12 by the time we came back to the States. And I'll be honest with you, I loved it in Germany. Granted, I was shorter than I am now, and the way they would do things in Germany, especially the sidewalks, is they have these machines that it's like a snowblower. It's a good sized snowblower, and they would just make walls. So, you know, you'd be able to see the street because the part of the sidewalk that connects to the street would be clear so you can cross the street or whatever. But then this side was just, the other side was just one big gigantic wall, and it was kind of fun to walk through. You know, I loved it. KC, I haven't been up in that general area in years. Um, Thank you, Stephanie. Jerry will be right back. She's kind of my monitor right now, but she's got distracted somehow. She's put up a BRB, which is be right back. So I'm hoping she'll be back soon. I'm drinking water at this time of night because I've got to try to go to bed at my regular hour. Me too. I love leaving some winter things up until it starts getting warm. Oh, Becky, I don't know about. I mean, I don't know about like certain decorations and whatnot because most of my decorations out that are out on my tree still, um, especially the gnomes I have. Yeah, they're little gnomes, little gnome ornaments that we found. Walmart actually had some, and we got them. Um, and then I have a actual desktop sized gnome that has winter, looks wintry. And then Jerry made me a gnome tree. Basically, what she did was she took those tabletop Christmas trees with a pair of, she had like ceramic type boots, and she somehow attached the boots to the bottom part of the tree and took a gnome beard, little nose, and red hat, to sit on top of the tree to make it look like the tree was a gnome. And in fact, we even have a gnome tree topper. So, gnomes have been a thing lately, not just because of the fact that they're Scandinavian in origin, but they're cute. They're fun. In fact, Jerry had made me one out of socks with interchangeable hats, so I can change his hat for winter, or change his hat for Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day, or just a regular plain looking hat for summer. Um, I don't know where he went. I misplaced him somehow when I was cleaning up. I don't think I got rid of him, but yeah, it's he's around somewhere. I wish we got 20 inches. We got about 8 inches in Philly. Well, you guys are used to snow up there. Unfortunately, here in Missouri, it's like it will snow and it might stay on the ground for a day or two, depending on temperatures and whatnot. But then either it will rain or it will get nice and warm and sunny, and the snow melts away. And I'm like, why? I want my snow. Um, excuse me. Somebody's comment flashed on my screen, but it didn't look like it was for the live session. It looked like it was a comment for one of my other for my other videos, for an actual video. Um, but things around here, yeah, um, they get stressful once in a while, but that's part of the nature of dealing with health issues. I mean, Jerry's cancer. It's also the time of year that I get my annual sinus problem because of leaf mold and dust. And I've been trying to clean up the house as best as I can, as often as I can. But the dust builds up, and when I go to clean up the dust, no matter what, my sinuses start going. Guess what? You're going to be clogged. You can't breathe out of one nostril. So it's like I'll wake up in the morning time, even though I'm using, various medications and whatnot. I'll wake up in the morning time, and if I slept most of the night on my right side, my left nostril will be like clogged. Can't breathe out of it. If I sleep on my left side, I can't breathe out of the left side. If I actually was able to sleep all night on my back, I'm not much of a stomach sleeper. Um, both nostrils, both sides would be clogged. Um, that in factor with the heater that keeps everybody warm, dries my skin out, so I'm using like chapstick like crazy. So it is that time of the year for me, anyhow. But one of the things that Jerry Ann and I get into, not really arguments, but we get into minor disputes, I guess you'd say, is I don't take care of myself. I don't. I've never really been focused on myself when it comes to other people, especially mom or Jerry's health. I focus on them, and Jerry's the same way. She'll focus on me. and I'll be like, you know what? I'm not the one who's got cancer. Focus on yourself. Get your, keep yourself going. But there are days where it's just like I'm thankful sometimes that she worries about me, because I'll get into these like frame of mind or state of being of just feeling like worn out and ragged, and just like I'm too tired to do anything, but I gotta push myself to do it because it needs to be done. And I don't have anybody else to take care of Jerry or mom, so I do what I can. And she'll be like, "Don't push yourself." I'm like, "Well, if we don't get it done, when is it going to get done?" And she'll be like, "Well, that's not important. This is not important." And I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to do certain things to make everybody happy. Um, I want to fix up my room, my personal space, so I'm comfortable and happy and don't feel miserable in there. So it's like a place that I can go to just recuperate, meditate, whatever you want to call it." And she understands this. And then I'm trying to help Jerry finish up her. You're right, Jill. Cancer does not wait for anything. But I'm trying to get her craft room fixed up, because she wants to go in there and craft, because it's one of the things that makes her happy. So it's kind of like one of those. Okay, what room are we working on today? Are we going to work on Jim's room, or are we going to work on Jerry's room? Let's decide. Jerry and Jim, I wish I lived close to help you and ease Jim's worry about you when he's at work. Debbie, I appreciate that. Um, right now, see, here's the problem we have. This is the problem we have. We fill out the paperwork and whatnot for um, we fill out paperwork for um, SSI, SSDI. We even fill out paperwork for home health aid. Now, the problem we're having is, one, Missouri is not like most states. It does not provide certain things like SSI or SSDI for people like Jerry. And when we first applied for home health aid through the hospital in St. Louis, they were like, "Oh, well, we can't really provide you with a home health aid because you live all the way in Rolla. It's too far." And I was just kind of like, "You couldn't hook us up with somebody in Rolla that will take our insurance?" Unfortunately, no. So that's the uphill struggle we're having right now, is trying to get the extra income to help out with Jerry's health, the home health aid that she needs while I'm at work. Um, there's a lot of little things that are against us because of the way things are here in Missouri. It's it's nuts. It's like, if we wanted to get Medicaid or Medicare, we cannot make over a certain amount of dollars or a certain amount of money per month, I think it is. And with my job, plus both of our YouTubes, and it's not going to happen. Um, she's not going to quit YouTube. I'm not going to quit YouTube. I'm not going to quit my job just to get, you know, Medicaid or Medicare or whatever it is. And unfortunately, in the state of Missouri, um, I cannot file as a home health care person for my family. They don't allow that, which I think is stupid. But I think that's just because Missouri is a little backwards. Um, so it's one of those like catch 22s, if you want to call it that. Um, it was going to be cold here tonight for Florida, around 30. 30 is not cold, Florida. I'm sorry. That's like on the cusp for me, in between being cold and comfortable. Um, especially when I work, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I have to be at work at 6, and when I leave here at the house around 5:30, 5:40, um, it's like 20 or below. And there's actually one morning I woke up. And I checked it and I went, okay, this is going to be nuts. I'm going to have to wear thermal underwear just to keep warm. Um, yeah, the thermostat said it was 16 degrees, but, or not 16, it was like 12 degrees. And I looked at my phone and it says 12 degrees feels like -3. And I just kind of went, oh, God. I don't want to go to work now. It's too cold. But when you've lived in certain parts of the world where 75, which is not warm enough for my mom, um, the locals in Germany were running around in t-shirts and shorts, and my mom was like, no, I still gotta wear pants and a long sleeve shirt. I was a kid, so I was like, oh, it don't feel that cold. I'm gonna run around like the rest of the people. And then I realized I have a problem. I don't suntan. I don't even get a farmer's tan. I burn, look like a lobster, peel, and then I'm back to being ghost white. I mean, anybody have ever? I mean, granted, my arms are a little dirty today, but yeah, I'm white. As one of my old friends said to me in Arizona when he first saw me at a pool party, he was like, "Dude, you're not white. You're neon white. You glow in the dark." And I was like, "Thanks," you know. But that's just I think that's because of my combination of my genes and my genetics. Is that the same thing? Genes and genetics? I don't know. But when you find out through a DNA ancestry DNA test that most of your ancestors came from Northern Europe, which is cold as can be. Yeah. Hold on a second, folks. I got a hey honey. All right, sir. Sorry, everybody. Um, Dre had a need. Let's see here. Let me just catch up with you guys for a second. As Dre it's going to be cold tonight in Florida. Okay, I saw that. Southern Ohio. Whereabouts in Southern Ohio? Jerry, or not Jerry. I have family in Akron. I have a cousin who's going to college, and I can't remember where. Oh, good morning from the UK. What time is it there in the UK, and what part of the UK? Stacy. Oh my God, that's horrible. I'm sure I'm going to try out. Basically, you're screwed, and that's sad. How am I screwed, Kathy? I don't see how I am screwed. Borders on Kentucky. Wait a minute. Did I get? Oh no, I'm looking for a different person. Um. Okay. I am probably getting off here in another few minutes because of how long this video is, and it's going to take forever to download. Um. I hope not. I hope it actually processes quickly. But Kathy, are you talking about the snow conditions and whatnot that people are having out east, Kentucky, Ohio, Florida? Is it Florida? Getting down to 1 above 0 tonight. Need the electric blanket. Well, Mary Jill, I can understand, especially if you're not used to it, or I have to tell you. All right, since we're talking about the weather, I'm gonna go there. Um, I don't know if any of you follow or keep track of what the weather's doing lately, but in the last decade alone, things have gotten colder, and the weather has gotten more extreme and chaotic due to, sorry, I'm gonna say it, due to mankind's polluting the air or the planet. Um, this is gonna be a new normal for very cold, nasty weather. And the only thing I can tell you guys is just be prepared. Get your blankets, get your backup generators, get your water supply. I wish I had my tablet with me because then I can look at my tablet and tell you what the weather is going to be like around here. So yeah, it's getting worse. I have not seen our little stray cat in a long time. I'm hoping whoever owned her has brung her inside and kept her inside just to be protected and safe from this crazy weather we're having. Um, well, Kate, Dizzy Cat, or whatever it is. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Um, we love, we love doing what we do, and you know, yes, there are those out there who want to be negative and cause problems, but we love those. We love the people who enjoy watching us. We do it for our enjoyment, your enjoyment. It's just a great way to connect with people. I am a native, but when it gets down to 0, it's still cold. Well, Mary Jill, I can understand. I mean, like I said, I've lived in all kinds of weather, and yeah, there's the extremes out there. Um, let's see here. Yeah, the weather is becoming more and more extreme. I'm glad I'm glad a lot of you are are concerned for Jerry and her well-being. We try to keep her health and whatnot going. Um, 50 days until spring. Can't wait. Well, spring here in Missouri is weird. The weather's been weird lately. I think we've had a touch of spring and then went back to winter, then a touch of spring and went back to winter. Um, our temperatures have been ranging from lows as low as -3, -4, depending on the wind chill factor, with highs in like the 30s to mid 40s. We actually today I think we had almost up to 50. Um, so um, I don't know what to talk to you now because, like I said, my brain kind of goes from one thing to another thing. Um, I mean, I could talk forever about what's causing weather changes and whatnot. Wish we all could video chat. Um, well, the video chat idea sounds great, but um, I don't know when. And that's kind of like it sounds like it's kind of more towards Jerry than me. Mention. Oh, I'm trying to make it as nice as possible because I mean my I've had a lot of people excuse me. I've had a lot of people come to me with issues or their opinions have been kind of like they have issues with some of what Jerry's doing, and a lot of people want Jerry to stop doing videos and whatnot. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, I I'm like, you're asking Jerry to do something that she enjoys doing. You might as well ask yourself to stop breathing for a month. You can't. Um, we got up to 19 degrees here today. It's going to be, yeah. That's how it's been around here. One day it's really cold. The next day it's like, oh, where did this temperature come from? That's nice. And then the next day it's like, holy crap, it's cold. Um, all these things that she's talking about, the meal prep, cooking, virtual crafting classes, these are things that she wants to try to do when she can finally get rid of the wheelchair rollator situation. Um, Kathy, you know what? I've been leaving that up to Jerry Ann because she's the one who has to go through it. I, if I knew what I could do for her, whether it was advocating or going directly to the Social Security office here in town and slap the book of medical information that Jerry has on their laps and say this woman needs the assistance you're supposed to be providing. Um, you know, it, we have a friend up in I can't remember where exactly up in Minnesota. That's why when somebody said they were from Minnesota, I picked up my um, I you know I wanted to move up there because they've got a better healthcare system that would provide the help that Jerry needs in home because everybody's like, oh, you need to take her to hospice, or you need to drop her off at the healthcare center, or someplace like that. And I'm like, yeah, and how am I going to pay that? You know, I don't get it. A lot of people are telling me to do this or do that, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to pay for it? I mean, I love to be able to get Jerry the healthcare provisions that she needs, but I'm not exactly 100% sure what to do or what she needs, other than somebody to be here to clean up, make her lunch. I make breakfast. You know, that's where we went from winter straight into summer. I think we did the same thing last year. I think we didn't have a spring. It was just like cold, 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 rainy, and then boom, summer. Um, Getting messages on my phone that are not part of this video and or this chat, so I'm like, I have to look at it later. But let's see here. I'm sorry, did I say something rude? Um, uh, okay. I didn't know because you put up that's rude, and I just went, what? Applying to me. I've got family in Ohio, but I don't know where that's at. Akron? Akron, Ohio? Or did I miss something? I'm sorry. Um, Guy's in charge. He sees the good people, person she is. He will lay his healing hand upon her. Okay. Um, yeah, I believe the same thing, Queen. Tell them to start dishing out the money and you'll hire someone. I wish it was that simple, Dizzy Cat, because then they think I'm soft begging or something like that. And I'm like, no, you're the one who told me to put her in an old folks home or hospice or care center like that. If you want me to do that, well, you can pay for it. Now, simple as that. I don't want your money, but if you're gonna tell me to put her in a care facility, start paying the bill, and then yeah, we'll think about that. It's really stupid, or not stupid, but just it's like, really, people, you think I got money coming out of my ears that I can put my wife in a health center until she gets better? No, I'm not going to hospice, Queen. I just that's what people are telling me is I should put Jerry in a hospice or care facility when I don't have the money for it. It's like, come on. It's like, oh yeah, I guess in your world, your trees outside aren't trees. They produce money. You can go pick the leaves off, bring them in your house, and let the leaves dry out, and they turn into money. um, yeah, it's alarming how. And I'll be honest with you. Granted, it was back in the '80s when I was in Germany, and the people there were great people. They loved us, um, in the whole 9 yards. It wasn't until I came back to America in '83 that it was just like I thought, I knew when my parents told me that the government is sending us to Germany because of Dad's career in the Air Force, that it was going to be a culture shock. I did not expect to come back to the States and have be culture shock. I had more of a culture shock coming back to the U.S. of A. than I did going to Germany, and it's just I've been back in the States since '83, and I've seen how this country has just not trickled downhill, but literally went, oh, look, off a cliff. Uh, It's nuts. Um, and it just makes me sad. It's like, oh, yeah, back in the '80s, yeah, America was great, but nowadays it's like, what the hell have we done? not to the world, but just to our own country. I mean, how we mistreat people just because they're a different color or race or religion. It's like, come on. We're the melting pot of the world. If we cannot coexist in our own borders, why was America ever made? You know, that's what gets me. Yeah, you're right, Dizzy Cat. She needs somebody to come to the house to take care of her. I'm not taking, Jerry's not doing, stopping her videos. Jerry's not going to hospital. It's just like, I'm sorry. You want her to do these things, go to hospice or have a home health care person. You're not understanding the fact of that my state does not provide that stuff. You know, according to their guidelines, Jerry does not qualify for a home health aid or SSI or SSDI assistance. Oh, Dizzy Cat, there's at least one. I think there's still one house up for sale in our neighborhood. you know, I'm not telling you to pull up roots and move out here, but um, I would love it if somebody would be willing to come out and help. Because hospice isn't for her stage of life. You need a. Oh, okay, yeah. Prognosis of 6 months or less. Yeah, I understand that. Um, yeah. Jim's answer, no. Yeah, no is my answer for a lot of these people who want me to do these. Oh, just take her to the hospice or get her in a care facility. Yeah, no. First off, second off, I don't have. You know how much money that would cost a month? I mean, a lot of people who go into care facilities or hospice end up losing their shirts because they don't have the money for it. And they have to go through all these hoops and whatnot to get loans or grants or government assistance or whatever. Um, yeah, Jerry's not. I'm not ready for her to be in a hospice, and she's not ready for it. She's got way too much life left in her. That in fact, her we've never been given a exact, prognosis of how long, and I, I ain't worried about it. Um, the reason why I'm not worried about it is as long as Jerry can keep her spirits high and we can keep her healthy and get her, get food in her system and get her to her doctor's appointments and all that stuff, she can be taken care of and she can stay at the house. Um, Besides that, we have too many things to check off our bucket list before we even think about it. Well, Mary Jill, when that point comes, if it ever does, then we'll discuss or figure out what we're going to do for that. But right now, we're not worried about it. Um, and we hope and pray that Jerry can beat this. And, she may never be cancer free, but she can um, go from stage 4 to stage 1 and be, good as normal. She still have to go through her, treatments and whatnot. Don't know. This is the doctors even said this is a strange type of cancer because the type of cancer she has is supposed to go from whatever is infected, like her kidney, to her lungs and then to the bones. It hasn't touched her lungs yet, so I'm not worried. When it gets to the part where it could get to her lungs, then I'll be concerned. Um, because they can remove the kidney and and take care of whatever's left. Which why they didn't do that in the first place is beyond me because you only need one kidney. Um, uh, it's not fair that she doesn't qualify. Yeah, I know. I think the state of Missouri, when it comes to medical care of its people, is ass backwards. Um, Jerry isn't ready for hospice. I agree with that, Diane. She's not ready for hospice. We live in central Missouri, a little town called Rolla, or as my cousin used to pronounce it, Rolla. Um, because it's spelled Rolla. So, however you want to pronounce it. Um, I'm praying that she beats it too. I don't know how she doesn't qualify either. I mean, she has cancer. She cannot work a job. Um, I don't know what qualifies or disqualifies her. I was never told, so I don't know. Jerry's been dealing with that. Yeah, I think she has this as well. She's only had maybe one or two really bad days out of the last, I don't know how many months she's been diagnosed with cancer now. I don't remember. But I'm not worried about it. Um, I'm sorry that you think you will need hospice one day. I hope nobody ever has to use hospice, unless you've got a really good medical system. I've heard bad stories about some of the hospice in bigger states or bigger cities. Um, I was I had wanted to at one point in time when I was having a really rough time. I wanted to look into there's several different new retirement communities. I don't know if they're, I think they're like retirement slash uh, um, care facilities. Like they have medical personnel on staff to help care for the residents. But I heard one of them has or not apartment complexes, but like little bungalows, um, so that the spouse can live with the person. That would be awesome if that was true, because then she would have the people to care for her while I was gone, and then come home at night and you know be with her the rest of the day. Yeah, there's a lot of people who, no matter what their health is, a lot of medical um, insurances and whatnot have these little like loopholes where if you have certain pre-existing conditions, you're not eligible for their insurance or whatnot. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Um, you know, people who are literally looking for insurance or looking to have insurance usually have a medical reason for needing the insurance. Um, what's on my bucket list? That's a very good question there. Jerry Ann and I have had Jerry Ann and I have a list of things or places that we want to go see throughout the U.S. We also have a couple places outside of the U.S. that we'd love to go see, but don't think we'll have the money to go to Norway, Ireland, Scotland, England, back to go back to see Germany. She wants to go down to Italy and Greece because that's where her ancestors are from. Um, it's a very extensive list. I'm not gonna go through every single place, but it's mostly like places that we want to see. Um, she's never seen Yellowstone. I worked there twice, so she wants to go see Yellowstone. We both want to see the redwood forest of California, Mount Rushmore, Grand Canyon. Um, I can't remember if there's any more here in the states. Um, yeah, she's got a U.S. RV tour to meet and greet. Yeah, basically that's what she wants to do. She wants to get an RV. I want to get an RV too, and we want to just go see different places we haven't seen. We want to go to certain. We want to go and basically meet all you guys. I mean, I think we would do very good doing stuff like that. Yeah, Universal in Florida. I've never been there. She wants to go there because of Harry Potter. I want to go there for Star Wars. Build my own lightsaber. you know, I'm still a kid at heart. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that Okay, yeah, physically I grew up, but there's that kid inside that goes, "Hey, I want to go do this. Can we go do this?" Um, and I don't care what people think about it. It's what keeps me going. Not just Jerry Ann, but just the fact that I can see, I can, have that. Like, yeah, I know Star Wars is Disney. You want to see Universal because of Harry Potter. I want to go to Disney for Star Wars. Yeah. Um, uh, she had a comment up here I wanted to address because it was kind of refusing to do treatments because I can't afford anything. But okay, Jerry, what have you told me? And yes, I know I don't listen all the time. Uh, Sorry, I'm just trying to skirt through all these comments. Um, that's a good idea. RV tours. Yeah, we want to do stuff like that because I think between the adventures that we could have in the RV or places we go in the RV would be great for our channel, our channels. Um, but see, Joy, you understand what I'm talking about. I mean, you can still have a love for something that most people go, oh, that's kind of for young kids. Jerry Ann, last year for her birthday, her 50th birthday, she had her sisters and her two besties out here and had a Harry Potter themed birthday. People thought, oh wow, what is a 50-year-old doing with a Harry Potter type birthday? Because she loves Harry Potter. That's the kid in her. It's like me. I love playing video games. I love doing stuff that most people are like, oh, that's for kids. If I was like Jerry Ann, no offense, Jerry, but if I was like Jerry Ann and could have collected all the Lego stuff and kept all my Lego stuff that I had coming back from Germany that got lost, my personal space that I'm trying to clean up would not just have adult themed stuff like Vikings or nature or wolves or anything like that. I'd have probably every Star Wars Lego set built and placed on a shelf someplace in my personal space. I can't do that for two reasons. One, I don't really have the time to do that. Two, the money is needed for other things more important. You know. Yeah, she wanted to go to Disney for our 20th anniversary, which was last year, but it's going to have to wait until our 25th. But yeah, I know, Jay. I have all my comic books, but I collected those before you were around and before money got tight. Um, she's just trying to point out the fact that I do have my collection of stuff, but I have no place to put them right now. They're in boxes, and I'm thinking about trying to build a shelf or something like that, or do something. Why don't qualify for the different types of benefits? Why I don't okay. All right, sorry, I'm like lost in the RV trip. Sounds amazing. I always wanted to go on an RV trip, but I fear my husband and I will actually. Well, Becky, don't feel alone because there are times I sit there and go, me and Jerry in an RV, tight quarters, for an extended period of time. That's going to be interesting to see what really happens because, I mean, no offense to my wife or anybody else's spouse or anything like that, but there are certain characteristics that everybody has that the other person does not like. Jerry, she has all her craft stuff and just is constantly buying craft stuff to do something with, but she never does it. She hasn't been able to do anything for a while, and I sit there and go, why are we getting more crafting stuff in the house when we, one, don't really have places for them, and two, when are you going to use them? All right, there are things like that gets on my nerves. Some of the other things that gets on my nerves that I have learned to just ignore is popping gum. It's one of those sounds where it's like, okay, I understand you're chewing your gum, you're, enjoying it and whatnot, but there are just certain times when she does it that I'm just kind of like, spit it out, quit doing that, but I don't, you know, there's a rhyme or reason for her doing it, so I learned to live with it. I'm pretty sure I have a lot of habits and quirks and whatnot that she doesn't really appreciate either. It's just part of being a couple is learning to accept and let it happen and let it be, unless it's really, really 100% aggravating because I might act up when she's having a bad day and she's like, quit, you know. It don't bother me, Jerry, unless it's like I'm trying to go to sleep and you're doing it, and then it's like, but I let you do it because I love you, and that's one of the things that a loving person should do is just learn to get over it. I'm just using it as an example of the many things that I've learned to deal with. Um, Listen, I'm grown up, but I do what brings me joy. Exactly, joy. I mean, so what if other people think that something that Jerry does, or the fact that Jerry had a 50th birthday that was Harry Potter theme? If it wasn't for the cancer and COVID and a lot of other things, um, we would have tried to do something I wanted to do for my 50th, which was either a Renaissance or a Viking themed type party. But it would have just been me and mom and Jerry, of course, Jerry, me, mom, the three of us basically. And Jerry even said, I'm not feeling up to doing it. Go out and do it yourself. You and mom go have fun. Go find one of them that are local or close by and go have fun. And I was like, not without you. It would not be fun without you. I don't know what she just yelled. Um, oh, I know why she yelled something. It's getting late. It's after 10. It's after 8. Um, did you see my last comment? Oh yeah, yeah. Seeing my last name is Disney. Okay. Well, I can understand that then. Um, Anyhow, um, I want to go ahead and sign off because, as Jerry just yelled at me, it's getting late. It's 74 minutes worth of video. So I'm gonna bid you guys a good night. I hope you guys enjoyed this little session. Um, I'm thinking of trying to do one live video chat maybe every other week on a Saturday. So um, I won't know until I decide to do it or think I can. So, but anyhow, I bid you guys a good night. Enjoy your week. Try to stay warm for those of you who are in cold territories. Um, you got to do what you got to do to stay warm. Keep the joy. So what if people think that you're being silly or goofy or not acting your age when you want to act like a kid or do something kiddish? I mean, it's the child in each of us that keeps us happy. It brings the joy forth. But anyhow, I have no other words for you. So, good night. See you on the flip side. Bye.